The amazing digital circus has been popping off recently with the release of the third episode, and with it comes remarkably more questions about Jax, despite him having barely any screen time in the actual episode. So what's going on with him? There are subtle clues listed in the show so far with its 3 episodes. A lot of theorizing going around to talk about what Jax is, and more importantly, what his role in the circus is. After considering some options and going back through all of the episodes, digging up through research, I might have to answer, folks. I will even go into theories about abstracting a little bit, possibly. So sit back, relax, and just calm down while I give my theory on what Jax is and who he could be in relation to what is going on here. Because, oh boy, the third episode gives us a lot of Jax lore despite him barely having any time. So what tipped me off in the first place that there would be more to Jax is really everything in the third episode, which is surprising. But mainly near the end where Zubul tells Kane that Jax pranks everyone and King has said that the worst thing in the world is to make someone feel not wanted in the circus. Which, surprise, surprise, is practically what Jax does throughout this series so far. This even sparked a journey down the rabbit hole that is Jax. We probably have to lay some ground rules first before exploring further. This concludes that Jax has been confirmed to get worse and worse as the episodes go on, and we already are seeing this compared from episode 1 to episode 3. Which more is that since scripts are prepared in advance, that there shouldn't be any retconning that would happen in the future. Also, episode 6 is going to be a Jax themed episode, so I will revisit this theory after that just to add on a few things. Speaking of retconning, the characters do know about their past lives. This does go in tandem with King explaining that he went on to do computer programming in school or something like that. I will also be predicting what might show up in episode 6. So there is a lot of Jack's theories to go around. However, I am putting my thoughts out there as well. I have rewatched all of the episodes and have jotted down some key notes that I think are worth taking interest of. I'm pretty sure we can all agree in here that overall Jax is a pretty bad dude when it comes to things. There are way too many examples of that. For example, Jack's stepson Gangel's comedy mask Ricky Moore. However, by the proximity, we know that he should have seen this. It wasn't an accident. He genuinely is just being a jerk. Which reminds that in episode 3, Zubul said that she hates removable parts of herself. This probably has something to do with the dysphoria that she's experiencing, which causes physical and mental discomfort. And what does Jax do in episode 1? Uses one of Zubul's arms as a back scratcher. He smiles at Ragus' existential crisis. He tells Gingle that Cosmo abstracted despite him being shocked earlier. I'll get to that more later. And he pushes Gangle out of the way. That's all in episode 1 that he's done. I would definitely provide a lot more examples to expand on, but the runtime of this video will be a lot longer. And I don't really think people want to listen to me talk. So instead, I'll just put it up on screen. The other reasons why Jax is essentially just antagonizing everyone in the circus. There's been a lot of theories as to what Jax could be in the circus. Some say he's a hacker, an admin, so on. I'm not sure if these words would describe Jax well. I would actually argue that he's just there like the rest of them. What is like him in another thing is the rogue in D&D, where they are more a thief and a criminal. In Gooseworks, I believe, did see something that Jax deserves to be there the most, or something along those lines. I also had a theory about how if Jax is antagonizing everyone, too abstract, like the point of his existence is to make people abstract. He could be like a Karen type figure, a passageway into another world. Charon, if you don't know, is the sailperson, the riverman on the river Styx. He ferries people across, and that is similar to what I feel like Jax could be doing as well. At the end of it all, I don't think that Jax is an admin similar to Kane or even stronger. Why I bring this up is the notorious Jax pin, which honestly is very confusing to me. There are a lot of ways that you could take this specific type of merch. Jax will probably abstract in the future. Which is the explanation that abstraction relates to the void. Another theory is that it relates to Jax's skill set, possibly having access to the void, which does not know about that particularly. If this is the case, awesome, and I'm wrong. But mainly the reason why I think Jax is more akin to something like a criminal is that if he had access to the void, he'd be higher than a god, which Kane has referred to as such. So hypothetically, then he should have known Kaufma abstracted, yet he doesn't. He is shocked when Kaufma abstracts. He seemed shocked to find Kaufma abstracted, yet he was fine to tell Gangle it just minutes later, when they are down with like loins. This possibly tells me that he's desensitized to a lot of things, probably grief as well. But this is important. I also don't have an answer for that. Something that I also thought of while writing the script is that Jax has the bowling ball, which he picked up from Kaufman's room, on his pin background, which is strange. Am I right? Like, why would he need Kaufman's bowling ball if it was even that in the first place? Which I think it was at the very least, because Jax looked like to be more panicked and thought of something to get away. But he picked up the bowling ball. Here's my theory: Jax collects a personal item of each person that has abstracted. This even supports why he has keys to everyone's room when he isn't supposed to. As for why he does this, I'm not certain enough to provide a concrete resolution. However, I can speculate. While rabbits are mostly considered good luck creatures, they also can considered to be bad luck, and can very well be witches' familiars. Cite WandaVision as well for using this. However, they are messengers to the underworld in mythology, and they can burrow underground. So perhaps these personal items could be used as a sort of gateway to the cellar. However, Jax is the only person who really knows this for some reason, which I am not sure of. Then again, Goose said that the entire show is 95% character development and 5% lore, so this could honestly be kind of useless, but it is fun to theorize about. That's for what he does. Now, what exactly is Jax? Sure, the description says that the cast is human, but they do remember their past lives. It's the name they forget. But what if Jax is more human than the rest of them appear to be? Why is this the case? I'm not sure. However, it could very well be that attached to something is the void. It seems to me that he's breaking the fourth wall a lot. Yeah, breaking the fourth wall is a bit funny and comedic. Looking real funny there, pal. But he's the only character that really addresses the viewer, and nobody seems to know what's going on. If it was purely done for gags, why is Jax the only one doing this? Why does nobody know what's going on? Is the void a reference to the wider world, where we look on this show on this show that is happening? Not sure. Apart from breaking the fourth wall, there's still a few things among the 3 episodes that feels like it's trying to pay attention to Jax specifically. At the end, Jax remarks that he's hungry, but from what King explained in the first episode, hunger isn't a thing in the digital circus. It would be like the need for that Ragatha describes as being absent, but still you can do it. Honestly and personally, I would definitely go in the digital circus if it meant I could be productive all the time. But Jack still insists that he's hungry throughout the episodes, which to me it looks like he genuinely is. Something that shouldn't be possible in the circus. He also doesn't show what holding his breath does to others, like in episode 3, and specifically calls attention to that. While everyone does something, like King is glowing, Jack says that he keeps his secret for the mystery. People call him out on this. Either nothing happens when he holds his breath, or perhaps it's some super exciting power that causes him to glitch into the outer layers of the circuits or something. I don't know. I'm struggling here. I'm currently on page 4 of the script, but I need to get this down before I do anything else. Episode 2 gave us a lot of lore, and not just for Jax. While this is a Jax-focused episode, these are things in conjunction to him. It gave us a lot of lore on Gangle and Ragatha. My question is, if I could ask you something, is the figurine thing that Jax was talking about going to be revealed in the future? There could be a lot of things that this is referencing. Perhaps Gangle has little figurines of everyone, since she has a comedy and tragedy mask. Perhaps she was an actor in a non-digital life. She uses these figurines as a sort of plaything, make masks that she can put on as well. More evidence to be sure that Jax is just kind of a bad guy. He literally just leaves the gates unlocked for the Fudge to come in and eat the candy people. Not too kind, even if they are NPCs. And just computer programming. He also just kind of looks around for Bazooka as Pomni hangs between the two freights. He craves violence and hates happy endings. Also, as I'm writing this, I did realize that the only thing of Gangles that Jax goes out of his way to destroy is a comedy mask. Sure, you can interpret this as him just ruining the only thing that he can on Gangle instead of like her ribbons or something, which is actually part of her body. Well, mask is part of her body, but in a different way. But how I am interpreting this is that he's literally depriving her of the only thing that would make her happy in this hellscape of a circus. He is actively stripping away her happiness and forcing her to be closer to abstraction. She is incredibly distressed by this, as we are seeing time and time again. Also, as of writing this, something that also I would like to talk about is Kaufman's funeral, which is held at the end of episode 2. Of course, Jax doesn't show up. However, for a split second, we could see something that looks like along the lines of sadness on his face. It could be that Jax just puts up this mean exterior to shoo everyone away from him, from making real, genuine connections that could help him in the long run. This is what I think could be what is hinted at in this scene. This could tie into him not being raised well, not him having a happy family. He would have gotten this from his parents if it were the same way. In episode 3, it was established that the worst thing you could do in the circus is to make someone feel as though they are not loved or wanted. Zubul says in that same episode that Jax just wants to fuck with everyone, making them feel not loved or wanted. Exactly what Kinga says is wrong. However way you want to slice it, Jax is an antagonist of the show. We might see his true colors one day when we get to his episode. Thanks for watching.